Hi everyone, and welcome to this playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. This video series will encompass the entire story from A Realm Reborn all the way to Endwalker and beyond. This video series is a bit unconventional in that this should just be about the only commentary that you'll hear from me, because I want this video series to just be story-based. I'm recording this playthrough for a dear friend of mine who enjoys the story of this world, but doesn't really have the time to play the game itself. This series is not a Let's Play with commentary, but it's also not entirely silent. I will be reading the non-voiced dialogue out loud so that these may be watched while my friend does other things. Each video will hopefully not exceed 40 minutes. I've been trying to keep them around 30-35. So it's kind of like a show you can pick up and put back down. That said, disclaimer, I am not a voice actor, and I am not a professional streamer or YouTuber or anything, so I will do my best to keep my audio quality good while I am reading all of this non-voice dialogue, but please bear with me. Though it is geared specifically for my friend and their needs, I hope that someone else out there will get something out of this very niche type of playthrough. That said, I have played all the way through current content with my main character, so none of this is new for me. Don't at me. This is getting very long for an intro, so I will try and stop rambling here. Once again, welcome to this playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. If you just want to enjoy the story of this game, but don't have the time or attention span to read all of the important unvoiced dialogue, I hope that this playthrough works for you. We begin our story witnessing the 7th Umbral Calamity, which I only bring up because I think one important contextual note that many new players don't know is that when Final Fantasy XIV was first released, it was not great. I won't get into the details because honestly I was not there for them. But the current director, Naoki Yoshida, also known as Yoshi P, basically had to rebuild everything from the ground up. So the calamity that we're going to witness in the opening cinematic, and that gets mentioned a lot in the beginning of the game, it heralded the end of the original Final Fantasy XIV when they shut the servers down. They wanted to acknowledge the story and the events that happened during the original 14 release, but had to start all over if the game was going to continue. And that's why this is A Realm Reborn.
Here. Here. Feel.
Oi, you alright, lad? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling of the ship got your stomach churning, has it? Don't seem like seasickness now that I look at you. It'll be the ether then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others, see, and we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of aetherites. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Ugh. Might as well have been bloomin' seasickness. Ship's leaping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Limsa Laminsa's still a fair way off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake and all, how's about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see. Any road, Brennan's the name, and peddlin's my trade. Smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lad, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? Ha, I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? To win glory. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folk ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame what coin can't buy. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. Just remember, though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Wah! Ship's off the starboard bow. Pirate colors. Pirates? Bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below. What is the world coming to? Pirates firing on a ship flying Leminson colors? Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We've made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer's bark will catch this flighty temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleedin' close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I'd have lost mine otherwise. If them pirates gave up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have us a look, shall we? By the by, is this your first trip to Limsa Lemensa? It is? Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Limsa Lemensa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago that the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilizing influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swillin' buccaneer herself. Course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-lovin' ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if that weren't bad enough, I've heard the Sahagin are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them are the sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. Ah, at long last. Land ho! Behold, Limsa Lemensa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limlane, goddess of navigation.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Lotamo Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lemensa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Limlane. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
And here's where we part ways, son. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me arse earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Hey, you there. I mean you. This is my district, and I make it my business to know all the scum that washes up in it. Ah, an adventurer fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Limsa finest to set you on the right path. Hop to it, lad, I haven't got all day. Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore, but adventurers are required to register their presence in the city, and without a bit of local knowledge, you're like to get your throat slit in some piss-stinking alley. So, before you do anything else, get yourself over to the Drowning Wench and enroll with the Adventurers Guild. It's not far. Just head straight down this street and speak with Greffar. He'll show you how to work that big moving platform we call the Crow's Lift, and that'll take you up to the pub. Once you're there, look for a fellow by the name of Batteron. He's the proprietor of the Wench. He might curse like an ale-sodden sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for wide-eyed newcomers like yourself. He'll set you straight. Got all that? Good. Now run along, and may the navigator guide you on your journey. Greetings to ye, lad. What'll it be? Ah, but you ain't here for the drink, are ye? You've come with a mind to try your hand adventuring, I reckon. Well, you'll find no shortage of work here in Limsa. The name's Batteron, and this most hospitable of hostelries is the Drowning Wench. 'Tis also the home of the Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. That's why we've got a desk specifically for handling guild business, and that's why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself than wetting the throats of irregulars. Venturers have a knack for finding trouble, see? Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbacks and the kobolds outside the city, the pirates on the inside will get you instead. And if they don't manage, there's always the Garlean Empire to finish the job. Oh, no one knows what they're planning, of course, but if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill a lot of us. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again and you'll see a people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that's happened? Eorzea took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our homes weren't the only things what got wiped off the face of existence by that thrice-damned bastard of a dragon. It took our bleeding memories, too, and no one's been able to explain it in a way it makes it ons a sense. None of the folks what saw it and lived to tell the tale seem to agree on how the tale actually goes. 'Tis all foggy, like recollections from a hard night on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear for the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there is one thing we all remember, and that's the group of adventurers what laid down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. Well, I say we remember. Truth is, though we ain't forgotten what they did for us, this God's damn calamity spawned memory loss robbed us of their names. It won't even let us picture their damn faces. 'Tis like staring at a gull flying in front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against a blinding glare. And that's how every bugger describes it, by the way. Give or take the odd gull. It's this what's got people calling these heroes the Warriors of Light. If Limsa's ever gonna put this time of darkness behind it, it's gonna need venturers to help banish the fear. It's going to need new heroes like the ones we lost. Maybe one day you'll be one of them, and that's why any aid we can give to a venturer is effort well spent. What say ye, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? Me thanks to ye, and to the navigator and all. I knew she'd steer ye my way for a reason. Ah, but listen to me, yattering on like a sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis high time we got your mark in me book. Put your scrawl right there. Artin Histrov, is it? And a fine name it is. Congratulations, you're now an upstanding member of the Adventurers Guild. You there, adventurer. You sailed in on that last ferry, did you not? The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on deck mere moments before the incident took place, sending your friends signals, were you? Now hold on just a moment there, officer. You've got the wrong bloke. This fine upstanding young gent is my dear departed grandma's sister's niece's cousin's closest companion. The lad wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You are surely aware of the recent kidnappings? Respectfully then, we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at a time when the loyalty of even our closest friends is in doubt.
Aye, you make a good point there, officer, a very good point. Very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open at all times, me, and two more often than not. Now, sir, what say ye to a tankard of my finest ale afore you return to your duties, eh? Not a watered-down cup of piss like last time, I should hope. Ain't got the faintest idea what you're on about, officer. The wench might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Melthor, but that don't mean it won't get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying out to be sat on, so kick off them heavy boots, yeah? You'll have to excuse these eager, bloody yellow jackets. There's been a spate of kidnappings, see, and they ain't got a clue who's behind 'em. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, which means venturers, visitors, and pretty much every bugger else in this town. Don't take it personal, though. Us Laminsons can be an headstrong bunch of bastards, 'tis true, but given time, we'll grow on ye. Now, where was I? Oh, aye! Welcome to Limsa Laminsa, where the sea's as green as the faces of my patrons after a few too many black belly whiskeys. Now, take a moment to gather your wits, and we'll get started with learning you the ways of the city.